Hey everyone, I'm Armor Gaming, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to an exclusive first look at the newest, the latest, the upcoming Team Race monster, Marquis de Flambe. I want to give a huge thanks to Social Point for letting me use this monster ahead of time, for giving me early access so I can make this exclusive monster review. They've given me the monster cells, the monster himself, gems to speed up, everything I need to showcase this monster. With that being said, I am allowed to do player versus player, however, I'm not allowed to win the battles because that would be completely unfair. But so here we have this upcoming Team Race monster, and I know a lot of people are super hyped about him because for one, he's a Team Race monster, which means a lot of teams are going to be able to get this monster either unranked, rank 1, rank 2, rank 4. One team will even walk away with enough cells to get him at rank 5, assuming it's a Grand Prix. But the reason people are super hyped, I know he looks like Charmless, he is an anti-Charmless, he's an anti-extra turn monster, he's like the free-to-play Faraday. If you don't have Faraday, don't worry, because this monster is going to be available in a few days. And why is that? Well, because he has the anticipation trait. So when an enemy performs any extra turn skill, this monster gets an extra turn himself. So, Faraday was the counter to Voltic and Xylas, right? And yes, we've had a few more, some of the War Masters have anticipation too, but getting a monster that everyone's going to be able to get for free, essentially, is incredible, and he is quite powerful. He can apply so many DLTs. So what I'm going to do in this showcase video is I'm going to level him up to 100, I'll do a few PvP battles, and then I'll level him up to his respective ranks, rank 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, so you guys can see his stats at every different level, and then we're going to try him out. Once again, I'm allowed to do PvP, but I'm not allowed to actually win the battles, but that's completely fine because we can still showcase this amazing monster. Alright, so at level 100, his power is 3663, which is one of the higher powers in the whole entire game. Currently, the strongest monster, the monster with the highest power, still continues to be Rador, who has a power of 3850. In the fire category specifically, after that would be Lucifer the Hope Freezer, who has a power of 3685. But then in the fire category after that, we have Marquis with 3663, and that power set is actually tied with a lot of other pretty strong monsters. For example, the VIP monster, the VIP fire monster, Kai the Eradicator, Talos the Nemesis monster, Talos the Forgotten Artifact, Lucifer the Hell Taser has the exact same power, Faraday the Obscure, War Master Gortok, they all have 3663. So it's so crazy that Social Point is giving us such a strong, powerful monster with the anticipation traits. And on top of that, this monster also has a high life, 38,001. In the fire category specifically, that's tied with Dracor and Igneous. And then if we look at the tanks in the fire category, they don't have that much higher life than this monster. You know, we have Saulot who has 41,000, and he's not really a tank, he's more of a denier. War Master Barway has 41,000, Igursis has 42,000. So considering we have this scrawny, skinny monster with 38,000 HP, that is incredible. And then to top things off, his speed is 3476. And in the fire category, this continues to be one of the higher speeds. It's tied with Viper Notep, the fire AoE stunner. So all around, really great stats. And because he has anticipation, you can argue his speed stat doesn't even matter. You don't need to give this monster 3 speed runes, 2 speed runes, even 1 speed runes. His ability to attack completely relies on his trait. It completely relies on the enemy you're facing. So he is a counter to Voltic, to Xyla, to Charmless specifically, considering you have the elemental advantage. And yeah, he's basically Charmless's Nemesis, who was another Team Race monster. So it's nice that we get a Team Race monster to combat a Team Race monster. But what's more so is that this monster, he can also counter really any monster that has a single turn transfer skill, a Demise, a War Master Necromancer, a War Master Ragnarok, a Samael the Plague Carrier, the Fever Scatter. Because just by giving this monster that one extra turn, it allows him to control the course of the battle. And we'll talk about why when we talk about the skills. So check out this skill. This skill deals massive fire damage to an enemy, applies Ignite and Blind to one enemy. So Ignition will drain 20% of HP for 2 turns, and Blind reduces it actually by 50%. And massive fire damage. That's really good. So there's 2 ways to rune this monster specifically. You can make him a 3 speed, you can rune him as 3 team speed, and the reason you can do that is because you're going to notice he has a lot of DLTs. So you can essentially win just with DLT damage. Alternatively, you can give this monster strength runes, which is how a lot of people run Faradays. So if Faraday gets 1 turn and he has strength runes, he's basically obliterating the team. It's the same thing with Marquis. Give him a strength rune. The minute he gets a turn in, strong massive AoE skill, or heavy, 40 damage and all the DLTs, and the enemy will die. So you can do some combination of maybe life, you can do strength, you can do team speed, you can do 2 strength and a life. You have so much flexibility with this monster. 2 team speed and a strength, 3 team speed. Again, a lot of flexibility and it all depends on how you want to run them. It depends on what rank you get them, or like for example, if you get them at level 100, you're probably gonna want to do a life rune because you need to compete with level 130 monsters. Because yeah, even though you have anticipation, if you're fighting 130 Voltic, he might one-shot you if you don't have that life to stay alive. But keep in mind, he does have a high tanky life himself, so he could really benefit from a high level life rune. Moving on, we have this skill which deals heavy fire damage to one enemy, and it applies stun twice. This is awesome because we have an anticipation monster that can deny. Faraday can do this too. Faraday has a stun skill if you have the earth one. The problem with Faraday is that it's single stun, whereas this monster applies 2 stuns, so it's double stun, so greater likelihood to land, especially on a monster that has a hardened trait, or the tough trait, or the bulwark trait. And what's cool about this is it has a 1 turn cooldown and a 39 stamina cost. So let's say you're attacking a Voltic, does static shocks, okay, you get a turn, you can stun one of Voltic's allies, a Voltic goes again, does 20k volts, okay, you can do something else, maybe apply a DOT, maybe blind Voltic, and then Voltic goes again and attacks. Now you can stun the other ally, and you've essentially mobilized 2 enemy monsters. How cool is that? So, great skill right here. Moving on, we have Poison for Constance, which applies poison to all of the enemy monsters. Again, DOT Poison, this reduces damage output. If you apply this against an extra turn monster, it's great because it reduces your damage output. We have for the Cardinal, which deals heavy fire damage to one enemy and applies stun. So single stun version, you could technically run both stun skills in cycle, but you really don't need the single stun when you have this ability to double stun, essentially. All against one. I love this skill. And again, this is the reason I say there's so many ways to rune him, because you don't necessarily need strength on this monster, because he can dominate the battle with DOTs. So this applies Sunburn, which reduces HP and accuracy by 15% for the next 3 turns. This applies Burning, which reduces HP by 15% for the next 4 turns. If I'm not mistaken, I might have got my numbers mixed up, but two DOTs in this skill, one of which reduces accuracy, Sunburn, by 15%. So really great to apply against extra turn monsters, because they might miss their attack. And again, you also have the poison on top of that. So, like just with DOT alone, you can kill the extra turn monster, but you're also applying the DOT on the allies, so you're going to chip away at their life, which is why I say you don't necessarily really need a strength rune. You can give this monster team speed, you can give them a high level life, and you apply all the DOTs, you double stun the allies, and then they can't do anything. So, and I'll try to showcase both ways of running this monster. Let's see what else we have. Deals heavy spell damage, applies blind once again, and this one's spammable. So if you're facing monsters that can do cooldowns activated, you definitely want to run the skill. That way, when your anticipation kicks in, you can at least blind someone. And this one just applies ignition, also spammable. But to be honest, I'd rather take the blind over the ignition, just because the blind reduces accuracy, and you can still benefit from the anticipation trait. So the first thing I want to showcase is, let's do all against one. Let's do both DOTs. Where is the other DOT? Poison. So all against one. Poison, we need that double stun for sure. Applies stun twice. And then let's do the ignition blind skill. And let's go with this. Oh, I removed the wrong one. Let's get rid of this skill. 50% chance. Oh, cool. I didn't even realize that. So he also has a 50% chance to stun all of the enemy monsters. Where is it? 50% chance of applying stun to all enemies. 1 turn cooldown, 38 stamina. So if you partner this monster up with a monster that can give you increased accuracy, it could come in handy, but I really don't think it's needed. So anyhow, what I'm going to do is, well, we got to talk about relics. He can hold a sword relic, so depending on what you have, right, maybe you have a Jakugan sword, maybe you have Solaris' sword, you can really take advantage of this, right? He has the exact same slots that you can give a Faraday. So, like this skill, if the enemy's frozen, I can give myself a shield. If the enemy has nightmares, I can drain some stamina. So you're gonna partner it up, and you're gonna synergize with whatever you can. As for traps, Pesty Trap will reduce the maximum life. If you have the Oblation Staff, that's always the Oblation Trap, that's always a really good trap. In case you do fall below 50% HP, you can drain the enemy's stamina. I currently have it on my defense monster, so I might as well just remove him, just so I can really showcase him. So let me go to change monsters, and let me get my Oblation Trap. So let's do this. Let's have a lot of fun with this. We also have Taiga's Trap, so if an enemy is purposely going after your Marquis, the Taiga's Trap can cut away at some of the enemy's HP. So there's a lot we can do with this monster. So let's give him the Oblation Trap. Let's give him, for the purpose of this live stream, let's try the Nishin Sword and see what happens, because I can just partner him up. In terms of runes, what I want to do right now is I want to showcase, maybe you get this monster at level 100, okay? Maybe you're not in the team that can do a lot of laps, so you just get him at 100. So ideally, I do recommend at 100, give him a high level life rune, I'm going to demonstrate that by giving him 3 level 3 life runes. So that kind of mimics just 1 high level life rune. But keep in mind, with 1 high level life rune, you'd be able to give team speed. You'd be able to give a strength if you wanted to. So let's do this. Once again, I'm not allowed to actually win the battle, but I am going to have a lot of fun with him. And looky here, we have my nemesis himself, Charmless. So let's jump right into this battle, and let's demonstrate exactly what I wanted to demonstrate. So hopefully the enemy's going first. Charmless is going first. Perfect. Evasion is active on Charmless, but that's completely fine. Just watch as... Oh, he recharged. I think it was because of my skill mirror. So, hey, that happens. I don't want to attack Charmless. So, Ridge Maker. I got Quicksand. I reflect it. Okay. Perfect. So, let's see what I can do. I'm going to... Do I have negative effects? Skill mirror. I'm going to charge with the Resonance. Give myself a little 2 extra turns. And I don't want to do anything necessarily right now. So I'm just going to recharge. And I'm just going to recharge. So I want that Charmless just to attack me. So there we go. Sweaty Blade. Bam. Anticipation kicks in. And once again, this is how you can use this monster as a level 100 that just counters extra turn monsters. So the first thing I want to do... Well, let's see what I can do. I can apply that double stun. I can apply Ignite and Blind. I can do the AoE Poison. Or I can do Sunburn and Burn. So what I'm going to do is the Sunburn and Burn, because I want to try to Sunburn the enemy Charmless so that his attacks miss. So let's do that. All against 1. And unfortunately it missed. Anticipation kicks in again. This time I'm going to do Poison to reduce damage output. And unfortunately that missed too. Wow. So he hit me with Epic Quest. I get another turn. I was going to say I'm going to stun, but I forget I can't stun. So I might as well just let me... Well, I can't blind. This is actually the worst thing, because I can't blind, I can't stun. But that's fine. So I'm going to at least hit Ignition on Charmless. And perfect. I get to Sunburn and Burn again. And hopefully it lands this time. Burning landed. Not Sunburn on Charmless. But look, he lost 19,000 just with DOTs. Now let me add in that Poison. So now he has... Wow, all my DOTs are missing. That is crazy. I'm going to recharge. And he is dead. Okay, let's just recharge again. I don't think they have any more extra turn skills. Nope. So let's do this, which is Old Horse's Momentum, and let's just attack. Like, just to showcase that this attack, it's 70 damage, and on top of that, it applies Ignition. On top of that, it also burns. So, very powerful monster, right? Again, this is just him at level 100. Let's see if we can find more extra turn monsters. Even like Charizard. Charizard has great Dispel. Baragor has extra turn skills. He has 2 of them. He has Bloodthirsty. He has a skill that actually deals damage. Bestial Charge. Even Neobuki has 2 extra turn skills. Ragnarok against, if he's ranked up at 105, he has a turn transfer skill. So a lot of ways to counter. A lot of ways. Necromancer has an extra turn skill. There's the Baragor again. I think in this case we're gonna try doing. So this battle doesn't really showcase so much the anticipation trait, but I think we'll still do well. So sometimes you have to change your team to fit the scenario. I'm gonna put in, I think I'll keep this team. I'll see how I do against the base on the left. So let's click fight, and let's see this happen. So everything's gonna activate. I'm gonna get hit with whatever I get hit. Lane odds, I'll reflect it thanks to my skill mirror. All right, cool. And everyone got hit with something. That's awesome. So Venom, I got stunned. I get to reflect it back at you. Poison and stun. Alright, Oblation Trap kicked in. So that's where the Oblation Trap really comes in handy. I drained all of the enemy stamina when my HP fell below 50%. So with that being said, every monster still has some sort of negative effect on them. Okay, finally an attack happened. Oblation Trap kicked in. Finally I get a turn in. Alright, what am I going to do? Well, let's apply the Sunburn and Burn. So, bam! And let's hopefully it lands on everyone. And Healing Mask kicked in, that's fine. 7,674 damage. Nice. Let's do this. Let's apply a shield to my team. And watch as he is dead. That's 1 monster down, 20,000 damage from DOTs alone. Let's do a charge with Resonance on my monster. Anticipation kicks in for him. He had to recharge. Let's do AoE Poison. So now the enemies would be poisoned, they'd be sunburned, they'd be burned, assuming everything landed. 15,000 damage that Ruby lost, and it's getting too close to the point where I don't want to win on accident, so I'm going to exit out. And so yeah, this monster, he's so good just for applying DOTs. Like, that alone makes it powerful. Looking at all the monsters currently in the game, Isofix has an extra turn skill. Again, Ragnarok. Neobuki, 2 extra turn skills. Let's see what else. Scrolling down, there's a Sammy. Ooh, Kane! You can even counter Kane. How cool is that? So we're gonna take on Killer Panda, but we are gonna switch. I want to run. Let me go to the Dark Element. I want to run Raw, just because I know I'm facing. Where is done Raw? Because I know I'm facing a Sunblast who can activate cooldowns activated. I essentially want to have done Raw not deny my monsters. So a lot of opportunity in this battle for my anticipation to kick in. It can be from Sammy or it can be from Kane. Let's see. Maybe it'll be from both. Let's see what happens. So Tenacity Shield, everything's activating. Stop its fire time. Cooldown's activated. That's fine. Alright, Kane. Shadow Wanderer. That was just single evasion. That's fine with me. I am going to do... I might as well do Old Horse's Momentum. Give a little damage boost to my monster. He did Pain. Okay, that's fine with me. I get my turn in. And I'm going to start off with my Sunburn. With my Sunburn and Burn. Unfortunately, it won't land on Kane. You know what? Actually, I'm just going to blind Sunblast, because I don't want him to hit me with like an AoE possession. So the blind landed. That's good. I'm going to apply a guard down so all of my attacks land. So that'll help my monster. He hit me with a Daze. Ouch. And now I got attacked. That wasn't the extra turn skill. And I got possessed, which is what I didn't want, but that's cool. I can do Charge with the Resonance. And once again, what will I do? Well, I think at this point, I'm going to apply the Sunburn and the Burn. So there we go. Sunburn Burning. Recharge from Sammy. I'm going to apply the Poison. So again, I have no Strength runes whatsoever, but just with deity alone, look at that. Lost 11,000 HP. Can I apply my Megatons, Valley of Kings, Nightmares? So yeah, like what I like about the game is that you can do a lot with just DOTs. I miss because I have Sunburn and Daze. That's a lot of minus accuracy. I am going to do... Let's get rid of those negative effects on my Raw. So Instant Rest. Does Kane not have his extra turn skills? Wow. Not today. Sunburn Stunned. Oblation Trap kicks in, so really useful to have. Lost 1 monster. He lost 1. Shadow Wanderer, Evasion. Oh well, maybe he's just not using them. Let's see if we can remove those. Recharge, and I have Sunburn. And so, let's just try to land this. Sunburn, Burning, nice. So Recharge. Old Horse's Momentum, double damage. It's not going to do much. Instant Rest. I really want to showcase him just countering, but I guess it couldn't happen. There's Oblation Trap kicking in again. If I had a revive monster, that would have really come in handy. But again, not supposed to be winning the battle, so it's completely fine. So, again, he really works the best when there is extra turn monsters, because that's when you counter. Let me see, I should have some more attacks. So I guess this video will just be a 1 to 100. I was going to do the full thing, but yeah, we'll just 1 to 100, and we'll do the 100 to 130 on part 2, which is what I typically always do, because I know not all players can get the monster exactly how they want, like at rank 3 or rank 4. So let's see if this Kane actually has a bunch of extra turn skills. So, Unpaid Loan. Okay, that's fine. I am going to do the removes positive effects. This way I can land my DOTs. Once again, I'm going to start off with a Sunburn and Burn, because I want to reduce accuracy on Kane. And that is a lot of misses. Wow. I'm going to also add a Nightmares. Alright, Kane, do your worst. Ancestral Bite. I don't believe that's an extra turn skill. Guard Down Hater, Intimidating Roar. I can charge with the Resonant. I can do the Mega Taunt. So partnering up Anticipation monsters with Brutalis, who has the Taunt trait, with a monster that has Mega Taunts. Super useful because it keeps your monster alive, especially if you're not running a Life Rune. Let me add in the Poison to reduce damage output by 20%. What else can I do? Add in a Daze to reduce accuracy and damage output by 25%. Recharge. I'm going to Old Horse's Momentum. And come on, Kane. Why is Recharge? And then Ultimate, that's fine with me. And then Done does Intimidating Roar, also fine with me. Apply Stun. Oh, I haven't even showcased this. It's just Stun. So watch as, if we look at this monster, he has the tough trait. All status effects have a 35% less accuracy. But let's see if I can stun him. And success. I was able to stun him. Let's apply Nightmares to everyone. Good. So he's stunned. I'll recharge. Ancestral Bite. And again, sometimes when a monster is facing an Anticipation monster, sometimes they won't do their extra turn skills, which kind of sucks. But hey, it is what it is. Let's apply that Sunburn and Burn again. So bye-bye Alkanine. And look, my Nishan Sword kicked in because the enemies had Nightmares. So that deals extra dark damage. that also drains some stamina. So that's pretty useful. Let's remove that positive effect. Let's do this. No, I've blinded Raw. I've had my Nation Sword kick in again. Look, as I drained all that stamina. I don't believe they'll die, so I'll recharge. So 14,000 HP, and then 45,000 HP. Poison, sunburn, burning. I don't believe he'll die, right? So I'll recharge. I will recharge. Let's see what Kane does. Ancestral Bite, and he recovered life. Yeah, so he's not doing extra turns on me, so there's nothing I could really do. Let's see, recharge. Yeah, so he's just afraid of the anticipation. So even then, that counters it. So you get a turn in eventually, and you get to apply all of your dots. There's my HP dropping below 50%. There's my Oblation Trap activating, and then I can hit him hard, right? I can hit him really hard. I can apply the Ignite and Blind, although I think he's immune to Ignition, if I'm not mistaken. Immunity to Possession, Bleed, and Nightmares. Oh, he's not. So I can hit him with an Ignite. I can reduce his accuracy. I can hit him. Let me recharge. I can hit him with a Burning. I can hit him with a Sunburn. And let's hope it all lands. Sunburn, Burning. So look at all those DLTs. Ignition, 20%. Sunburn, 15%. Burning, 15%. 30. 50% in one turn. And then he's also blinded. So you can see how powerful this monster is. Even if you get him unranked, you should be happy because you're going to have yourself an extremely, extremely powerful monster. So here we have, guys, Marquis de Flambe at level 100. I put level 3 life runes just to kind of demonstrate what it would be like if you gave him a high level life rune. Taking on tough bases, you can still do it. So definitely start preparing for the race. This is a monster you definitely want to have in your arsenal. You will not regret it. Once again, I want to give a huge thanks to Social Point for giving me the monster to do an early access showcase of him. Here he is at 100. And for those of you that want to see him ranked up at rank 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, stay tuned. I will have part 2 coming out in a while. With that being said, I want to hear all of your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Let me know how many laps you're going to be going for in the upcoming Grand Prix. Any other thoughts you may have about this monster, any combinations you may want to see for the rank up video, any rune combinations. Do you want me to do 2 strength? Do you want me to do single strength? Any and all thoughts you might have about Marquis, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much, and I will see you all next time.